So many people just don't even understand when I say, gotta go race this weekend, gotta go work on my car. People are like, you work on a car? Like, you race a car? There are only 3 or 4 girls that are racing at this track. I'm one of them. My dad raced for like 26 years and was very successful at it and won 8 championships. 2019, my brother hopped into a car after my dad had been retired, and I came here every Thursday night and helped crew chief the car. I kind of got hooked. I'm a very goofy person, I'd say. The second I hop into that car, like, it's game time.
Okay, fire up, let's go.
Being a girl in racing, I definitely feel like people think that, they can get into my head, but it's all about showing them that that's not what they're gonna do. And that's what I've come here this year as a goal. I'll show people I'm here to be a competitor.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the worst podcast on the internet, Rough and Rowdy. We have a real special guest tonight, Taylor Hoar. Taylor's a late model driver at Thunder Road. She also competes in the ACT Tour. She was a finalist in the Kulwicki Driver Development Program. And with the International Women's Week or month, we thought this would be a great time to bring her on. So without any further ado, welcome on. All right. Hello, Taylor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Unfortunately, my nephew, Rowdy, couldn't make it tonight. Couldn't get out of the shop. He's working on his legend car.
Yeah, totally understandable.
Yeah, and I wanted to thank you for coming on. I know, and I really appreciate that. You said I have to ask the crew, see if it'd be okay. Take some time out of the shop. And so I want to extend the thank you to the crew, to your crew, for letting you come on the show.
Yeah, no, they're great. We had shop night last night, so everything ended up working out with doing this and working on the car with the team. So very thankful for them. But thanks for having me on too.
Awesome. I played that little video in the front in the beginning. I thought that was pretty cool. It was like, how you working on the cars and stuff in the shop, and you don't even have some of the guys that go in the shop and actually do the work. They want to show up to the track with their phones and bury themselves in the phone until it's time to get in the seat,
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I'm in a very grateful and blessed position to have a lot of help on my cars, so I can't take all the credit by any means at all, but very thankful for the team I have around me. But that is the dream, to be like the cup guys and show up at the track,
no, right?
Bring your suit and helmet and go.
Yeah, no, it's great. So you come from your roots are from a racing family, and now, are you third generation or just second generation?
Third generation.
All right. I thought I read that somewhere, but I didn't want to say it in the beginning. So your dad raced. We'll get to that. But was it your grandfather, his father?
Yes. Yep. He raced all the same things my dad did, except the Busch North Series. He did late models, and and they kind of raced together. They started about at the same time, actually. So he started later in life, but they got to race together a lot.
Oh, so your grandfather must have raced with a lot of the great old time drivers, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't start till he was like 45, so maybe if he started a little bit earlier, he might have. But my dad and him both got to race some pretty cool guys, so it's always fun to hear those stories.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We had last week we had Charlie Rose on. He's a late model racer at Seekonk. He won the championship last year, and he was sharing some stories. He's an older guy like me,
Yeah,
and he was sharing a lot of stories, which it's great to hear him. You know, it's great to hear
yeah,
the old stories, how they raced and all the stuff they did to. Well, we won't call it cheating. We'll just
yeah,
call it to make their cars faster. You know.
yeah, yeah, totally.
So your dad was eight-time ACT Tour champion.
Yeah, he was a legend, or is, I should say.
Yeah,
So,
no, he's a legend. Exactly. So
yeah.
do you find it like hard like to live up to that? Is that something like when like, oh, you got in the car, it's like, okay, my last name, I have to live up to this, you know?
I mean, a little at first when I started racing, because I started racing when I was 17 or 18. And so I was a little bit later than some people start racing. And I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself because I come from a gymnastics background where you are trying to get a perfect 10. So you're trying to be perfect always. And that affects me in my daily life and kind of tried to follow me into racing. And so I think I wanted to be perfect for the fans and perfect for my father to live up to that name. And then I learned that in racing, being perfect is impossible. So, it's something that I've kind of obviously I'm very grateful for my dad and all the lessons and he's given me. So I just kind of learn from him. And instead of making that as pressure, I just kind of look at it as a privilege to have, that pressure of being his daughter. And I don't really look at it as anything that stresses me out anymore. I'm doing my own thing and I'm my own person. So I'm just lucky to have him in my corner.
Oh, definitely. To have, a champion like that and the experience that he has, especially in the late models, to
Yeah.
help you out. So he's kind of like your coach, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you guys do all the work on your car's setup and all of that?
Yep. So we have my crew chief Rick Paya was my dad's car owner and crew chief my dad drove for Rick for a number of years. They won a couple championships together. So my crew chief, he kind of helps us with the setup, guides us on what to do with the setup. During the heat of summer, he'll come 1 or 2 days a week and help us out. But for the most part, it's my dad and my brother. My brother Justin Prescott, he is my car chief, and he's the man. He does it all for me, and I would not be here and have as much success as I've had, or maybe some people wouldn't look at it as much success, but I'm very thankful for Justin and all that he's done for me. But then it's me, and then we've got an amazing crew that shows up on Tuesday nights and at the track, and just very thankful for the group of people I have behind me.
Yeah, I mean, so we have a team also, we race and, for these guys, these crew guys that come out, and they take their Saturdays, Sundays off
Yeah.
to come help you, no pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they do it for the love of racing. It's,
Right.
you really have to, give these guys some credit,
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I always feel bad if we have like a Thursday race and then we want to race Saturday too. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad asking them, but I want to race. And it's been pretty cool to see because some of my crew doesn't come from a racing background. We're just been good family friends. They followed my dad for a long time, but then they kind of started helping out when I got into it, when my brother and I got into it. And it's been cool to see everybody grow all together. And then, we have certain people like my tire guy, Rich, who has been in it for a long, long time and, seen every side of racing that you could possibly see. So it's cool to see the dynamic we have now, and I'm very, very thankful for them giving up all the hours that have added up for me and my family.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a good tire guy.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
crucial for sure.
yes, especially when you're running the tour,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you got to have a good, and basically any weekly. So I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
do you race weekly at Thunder Road or,
Yeah,
or
so
in between?
I race weekly at Thunder Road, and then I only do select races with the tour, so I'm not running full
Oh,
time on the tour.
okay. So you run
Yeah,
full time at Thunder Road
yeah, yep, which is
now.
every Thursday and some weekends.
Oh, nice. So last year you ran. Were you the only female driver in the late model division?
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have a bunch of young ladies that want to come on at some point to ask you some questions.
Awesome.
They're running like bandoleros. We got one
Cool.
girl. Her name is Ayla Martin, and she is a she's
Oh,
gymnast, I should
cool.
say. So she's like
That's
13. She's like
oh,
level
awesome.
6 or something.
Oh,
And I
cool.
know I was reading some stuff on you as far as the gymnastics. You were a level 6 state champion 2017, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Regional qualification 2018, level 7th qualifier,
Yeah.
and a 2019 platinum platinum
Yes.
regional qualifier, 2020 Diamond Royal Classic all around champ, and CVU. I don't know where that is.
That's
Is
my
that
high school.
your high school uh, varsity team champion? So you were
Yeah.
quite a standout in the gymnastics.
Yeah, it was my life for a long time. Probably when I was doing gymnastics, if you asked me if I was ever going to race it, I would have thought you were crazy. But I
Right?
retired from gymnastics, and I have always been on the go, always had something to do and something that I put my everything into. And my brother started racing, and because my dad had been retired for a number of years and got the bug, and and here we are.
Yeah. So I'll get back to the gymnastics stuff later, but
Okay.
so you're back to your dad. What if you had to say what was the biggest lesson that your dad has taught you about racing? Was it like, what do you think was the
Oh
biggest lesson?
gosh, there's
I'm
so
sure he's
many.
taught you a lot. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever one comes into your head, or 2 or 3 or whatever, it don't matter.
I think he's just really good, like, when it comes, obviously he can tell you anything about on track stuff, but he's really good with me when it comes to off track, because as anyone in racing knows, that this sport is so tough mentally,
Mm,
and you have bad week after bad week. It's so easy to be down on yourself, and maybe it's just the car's not handling well, but you think it's you. And he's so good about, trying to remind me that, a, it can be the car, but also like your mentality is such a big factor of what's happening in the race car. You don't even realize, like, your car could be but like because you think it's even worse, you're making it worse. And there's just so many times that he's like kind of told me that, it's all a mental game really. And it's not going to be easy, although he made it look easy for a number of years.
yeah.
But he's just been such a great like mental coach, really, because it is really easy to get into your head and be disappointed after a season of, not so great, and points out all the good things that have happened. But there's plenty of on track stuff where I'll do something and he's like, okay, next time, when this happens, I want you to do this. And if he moves you up the track, this is what you do. And just fun little things like that I just add to my memory bank of things to do on the track.
Yeah, it's a lot going through your head when you're in that car. I raced back in the
Absolutely.
day for a while. I wasn't very that good at it, but I enjoyed it, and I'm a better car owner than I am a driver. But I always tell people, I put it in perspective. Like, okay, you show up to the track. There's 20, 30 teams, and they're all want that one spot. They all want to win, right? And a lot of these other sports, you show up, there's 2 teams and one of them's going to win. So you have a 50-50
Hmm.
chance of winning. So I
Right.
feel like, and I feel like it is a real tough sport. Matter if you're male or female, it's a tough
Right.
sport to get out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, so you started racing right after school, 2021.
Yep. Yep. So just the summer of 2020, I started going back to the racetrack because my dad retired in 2015, and it was kind of like a no-no within our family to go to the racetrack, just because it was a big decision for him to make, to choose to spend more time with the family, as my sister was getting bigger in horseback riding and I was doing more with gymnastics, he wanted to make sure he was spending enough time with us girls rather than saying, parting ways on weekends where he was going to the racetrack and we were going to a horse show or something like that. So he retired, but it was a big heartbreak for him. So none of us went to the racetrack. And then my brother built a Warrior car, which is one of the lower level divisions at Thunder Road. And I started going to the track and met up with him and started helping on his pit crew and just absolutely fell in love with the culture of it. The Warrior crew back there it was like a big family and something I guess I had never seen growing up because, my dad was so competitive and the teams were all so competitive that nobody was like a family in the pits, and at least not that I got to witness. So it was really cool, and it roped me right in. So that summer. There was a few cars that went up for sale, and I was like, "Dad, Dad, Dad! Like, come on!" He's like, "No, you're a gymnast. You're not a racer." And after spending some time, like being like, "I'll work on the car. I'll get my sponsorships. I'm in it. Like, I commit to this." And we had that really deep talk of like, if you're not committing to this, you're not doing it. And I was all in from there on out. So that was kind of how that started.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into the racing. You spend a
Hmm.
lot of time, a lot of money, and if you're not going to be committed,
Why do it, really?
why exactly why do it?
Yeah.
And I feel that's so you started out in that division. That was the first division you started out, was like um it's not a street stock. It's what, like was it a 4-cylinder kind of
Well, so
deal?
I did start in a street stock division, which is just a four-cylinder street stock.
Oh, all
I
right.
started with a Ford Mustang, and it's a great division. Same thing as the Warrior, though. It was, we always look back on our street stock days, and it really is such a big family back there. And definitely miss the days of being best buddies with your competitors. Obviously, on track, everyone was there to get the one goal and get the one job done. But off the track, it was a very big family orientation. So it was cool and a fun division to learn in, and a lot of people willing to help each other out.
Yeah, I feel like the um the track becomes like your racing family,
For sure.
like I've been racing since 94. So it gives you an idea. And and my nephew, Jacob, he started when he was 5 in quarter midgets in I think that was 2006 and 5, 2011, something like that.
Yeah.
And along the way, we've met and he's met most of his friends now,
Right.
all people from the track,
Yeah.
he's got, so I feel like you get there and you have your regular family, but then you have
Right.
your racing family. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
and then when stuff happens, if you get wrecked, your car, there's everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of the people, yeah,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
there's always those few
Absolutely. Yeah.
that they want to help out. Sometimes there's too many people that want to help,
Right. Yeah.
but there's always somebody. Oh, do you need something? If I have it, you can use it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
And we found that we were racing the Act Tour up at New Hampshire, and it wasn't last year, it was the year before, and we blew a transmission. So I didn't have a spare. I have a spare now, but I didn't have a
Yeah.
spare then,
Yeah.
right? So I
Yeah.
went down the pits, and I asked
Yeah.
everybody until one guy said, "Yeah, I got one. Here it is. If you blow it up, you give me a new one. And if
Right.
not, when you're
Right.
done today, take it out and give it to me."
Right. Yeah.
So, which is it's great.
No, it is nice to know that you kind of have that security and those people behind you if you need.
Yeah. So we have a couple of people that messaged in. Joe Pavo said, "I always root for the female races because they show my 12-year-old daughter that she can do anything males can do. It's inspiring," which
Oh.
which I think is great. And you
Mhm.
see it now, more and more female drivers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In the local tracks and up to the NASCAR levels.
Right.
All over. And I think it's pretty cool. It's
No,
good.
I love seeing more and more girls coming into it and always trying to encourage more girls to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know when I raced back in the mid '90s, we had one I think it was one girl racing back
Yeah.
then, which I thought that was pretty good, for back
Right.
in the 90s, right? So we also have Jim Bacon said, if Taylor is half what her dad was, she will be more than just good in the sport. So
Hey,
that's a
I'll
good,
take it.
yeah, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, Robert Martin, Ayler's dad just said, he laughed. He said, I said the same thing about Ayla when she told me she wanted to race. I said, you're not a racer. She's a gymnast. She's a gymnast. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So,
too funny.
oh, Nico, I got a few notes here, so I'm just going through and I can just
Well,
about see. I have to put my glasses on. So,
you're good.
all right. So let's talk about tracks. Like, what's your, because you have done some touring and stuff. Um, what's your favorite track to race and why? And I mean, you can say
Hmm.
Thunder Road because it's your local track, but I mean, you've been to other ones. I mean, you've been down to Seekonk. I think I saw you there at
Yeah, I
Seekonk, right?
actually really liked Seekonk. It was fun. I'd never been, and I wasn't sure what to expect because sometimes in the past, I haven't had the best luck adapting super quickly. And so I've adapted really quickly to the track, the driving style. We had a really fast car in practice, but unfortunately kind of fell off for the race. So I'm probably not going to mark that as my favorite just because the end result wasn't great. But I do love White Mountain. I think it races really, really well. It's a forgiving track. It's fast. It's very similar to Thunder Road in a few ways. Um, but it's hard to say because if you've ever been to Thunder Road and you're in the race car, you cannot beat Thunder Road's fans. Like, I mean, on a night race when they have their flashlights up and it is just thousands of lights, it is just an unreal feeling. And, you take a moment and you're like, wow, I'm absolutely so blessed to be here and just be getting to do this in front of so many people because Thunder Road just really has the fan base that I've never seen anywhere else. And there are days I absolutely hate the track, really. I mean, we're being honest here.
Yeah, no,
It
it's
changes all the time
yeah,
and it is frustrating beyond frustrating, but I think that's what makes it more rewarding when you have a good car and you're doing good because you've earned it. You can't just show up there and be good. You've worked hard to be good there. So
yeah. You're racing the drivers and then you're racing the track. So
absolutely. I mean,
you're
yeah.
battling both.
Right. Yeah. So I have to give Thunder Road my love. I do really love White Mountain. And if it wasn't every Saturday night and 2.5 hours from us, I'd probably be there more. But um Thunder Road definitely has my heart.
Mm. It's funny you said Mountain because Jacob's raced there, but not in a late model yet, but
Oh
in
yeah.
Legend, and he says he really likes that track.
It's so fun. It's racy, it's wide, it's fun.
He hasn't been to Thunder Road yet, and he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not going to want to go to Thunder Road. I've seen they wreck bad over there." So is that
Not
true?
many
They have some bad
outsiders.
wrecks over there.
Yeah, wait, and not the Milk Bowl. We had a really big wreck that started in front of me, and my dad was right behind me, basically, and or my brother was directly behind me, but my dad was a few back. He got in it. They were three wide on top of each other, and
Oh, I
there's
think I saw that. I saw that
yeah,
they all piled up going into
turn
turn
one,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, they were on top of each other. So your dad's still racing because I saw him on the roster.
Yeah, so he
This year.
races probably 3 or 4 races a year, but mostly focuses on us kids. But yeah, Thunder Roads it's can cause wrecks for sure. But it doesn't seem to be a non-local favorite. I talk to Derek Luchaki every once in a while from the Kulwicki program, and it's not his favorite track, but it's kind of the same feeling of it's very rewarding though when you go and have a good race there.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Derek. He's helping us out this year because we're
Oh,
going to do some
nice.
Tour racing.
Yeah,
We're not sure if we're going to do the whole season. We're going to see
yeah,
how it pans out in the beginning. But
right.
he's been. We had a show. I don't know if you went through any of our stuff before you came on. I'm sure you probably said, "Oh my God, this guy! It is really the worst podcast on the
Oh my gosh, no.
internet." But we had one on from from driver to crew chief. Well, he's going to be doing some races, some select
Yeah,
races,
yeah,
but he's helping us out, and he's also helping out Ayla
yeah,
with her racing.
yeah.
He's
No,
a
he's
real
great.
Yeah, he is great, hands-on guy. He could
Yeah.
have the fastest car in the practice, and then he comes in and he'll rip out all 4 shocks and springs, and he'll do another setup just to see if he can get another 10th. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
he's definitely a good guy to talk with for information for
Yeah,
sure.
no, he was very helpful with the Kulwicki program, him and his wife Maddie, and they were great and good to kind of get to know them. And but yeah, very good people.
So while we're talking about that, like there's other drivers out there. Like I've asked my nephew, and he doesn't want to do it. I don't know why, but I really think getting your name out there and learning. They teach you. Way Derek was telling us, like they teach you, how to to talk to sponsors and present yourself as
Yeah.
a racer. So what'd you get out of that program? And I know, and like, just tell us a little bit about what it entails to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience, great program to be a part of. It was a lot of work though. I mean, you're it's kind of almost like it was like schoolwork, but it's really just like the whole program is truly about carrying on Alan's legacy. Alan did things not the same, he didn't show up in with his suitcase, his helmet, and his suit and drive. He was in the shop and at the track, he was under the car working on it, and he knew so much about them. And I think that's just something that, especially at the beginning at where he was, started to phase out. And especially now, you don't see a driver under his car in the cup garage. And I
Mhm.
think that that's kind of what they were trying to have us all embody. And you really do get a lot out of the program. We have nutrition meetings and just trying to make sure we're fueling our body properly, because as you know, like, you get in a race car and it's 30, it could be like 30 degrees hotter in that car when you're wearing a 3-layer fire suit, helmet, gloves, shoes, and it's 80 degrees outside. And how to make sure your body can handle that without failing you, because you don't want it to fail you in the race. There's so many things, how to talk during interviews, how to present yourself to sponsors like Derek said, and just the proper ways to do certain things. And but it was overall a great program, met a lot of great people through it. And now I feel like I have a whole other support system behind me too, which is really cool. But it was just such an honor really to be a part of that program and be one of the 5 selected when I sometimes felt like maybe I shouldn't have been.
No, absolutely. You did the work, and you got there, so
Yeah.
obviously you deserved it. You're welcome.
Yeah. It was a lot of work, but it was very rewarding in the end. You get to go down to North Carolina and tour some shops, and just get to hang out with all these great people and get to hear all these original stories from Alan, from his crew guys. And it's a special program to be a part of.
I think I saw somewhere on your Facebook page that you got to meet the president of the program.
Yeah, yeah, Ryan was great. He actually came to Oxford for one of the tour races, and I was feeling a little under the weather, and actually my mentor Joe Covington did as well. And he was on Alan's crew, so it was cool that they were able to come out to one of Derek and I's races and get to see what we do. But it was really cool because I wasn't feeling too well, but he was very like dad mode, and kind of knew that I wasn't feeling great, and was just very supportive and happy to be there. And then he was a big part of the weekend in North Carolina too. So it was cool for sure.
That's awesome. So, is there a track right now that you are like chasing a win, somewhere that you want to get a win? Like,
Thunder Road.
oh, okay, all right. So,
I've never won in a late model at Thunder Road. And I
oh,
think it's just because that's my home track. I want to.
yeah, no,
I've been
absolutely.
close too many times that it stings, but
All right. So you've been close. So what do you mean, like your podiums?
well, we've had a few podiums, but like biggest one that pops in my mind, not last year, but the year before, I jumped to the lead and was just dominant, perfect car. And then I think it was like, I want to say like 10 to go, had a,
Caution.
yep, caution and got a flat tire and
Ah,
was
oh
done the
no.
race. And it was like just the most dominant race, a perfect race car, as perfect can get for a race car. And it's just one of those ones you look at and it stings just still to think about, like, even, who knows what would have happened with the caution, but it was definitely something that it hurt because it was a perfect race car.
Yeah, I mean, when stuff like that's out of your control, like, a flat
Yeah.
tire or something like that. Um, but how about a race where you thought that maybe you made a mistake? Like, I mean, if I should have did this or if I would have did that, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because there's sometimes I see races and, and you make a mistake. You're leading the race. You got a whole big half a track or whatever. And all of a sudden you
Yeah.
start changing your line or something. And all
Right.
of a sudden the guy catches you or make a bad move or.
Right. Yeah, this past summer, I was a longer distance. It was 100 lapper for us. And I was able to get to the lead from, I think, sixth. Um, and we had a caution. I had passed the guy on the inside, but I could tell he had a tire going down because he just couldn't turn well. So I felt like I still had a dominant car on the outside. I was struggling really hard to pass him on the inside, even though he was having tire problems. So I chose the outside thinking that was the move. And just did not hit the restart right, and he was able to hold on for a little bit longer, which then let two guys go by, and I still finished third. But it was one of those ones that if I mean, any chance I get, I'd go back and redo that restart any day now.
And choose the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, or even just, just retried. I think I was in the gas a little too hard too early and just shoved the nose and lost the restart on that one. So definitely stings to think of just a mistake that I made. And but can't go back, but I can just learn from it.
Exactly. I find that even as like, my nephew is kind of almost like my son, I treat him,
Yeah.
he's grown up with me and I feel like that sometimes when you make a mistake and it's like, it hurts me more than I think sometimes than it hurts him. But you
Hmm.
always think back and like, oh man, should have did this or could have did that and could have won the race. And, yeah, actually, I think it was maybe 3 years ago. It was the Haunted 100. Him and Dale Shaw were battling
Oh,
for the
right.
lead.
Yeah.
There was the last two laps. He passed Dale for the lead coming into to 1 and 2, and then Dale and I always tell him, listen, when you have someone on the outside and you're passing them, you don't need to like blow by him. Leave him hang out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as you blow by him, he's going to crush you up,
Right.
get down on your inside. And if it's for the win in a big race like that, he's going to drive it into 3 and 4 so hard, he's going to bounce
Yeah.
off your door,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's experience. So sometimes you lose a race or you miss a spot, but from experience. And
Right.
over the years, you put that, like you said, in your memory banks.
Yeah. You
And
learn and you'll never do it again.
exactly. So, obviously, I don't think your dad spots. You have a spotter? You're someone that's a guy that spots for you all the time?
Yeah. My crew chief, Rick, he spots for me. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. And
Yeah.
so I got to ask. So you said your brother races, right? Right. Who's the better driver, you or him?
Him. I can't, I would
Oh,
love
all
to
right. All
be
right.
this
All right. Is
person
he,
and overconfident. No, he's come a long way. He's been a year ahead of me in regards to being in a late model, a year more than me, and he's come a long way. He's a great driver, and um he really has progressed since his first year in a late model. So but it has been fun because he races Thursday nights with me too, and we've had some battles where I have, been able to beat him and he's beat me. So it's really fun. But overall, he's got it. He's a very talented driver.
well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me see what else I had here. I wanted to ask you before I have a couple of people in that wanted to come on and ask you a couple of questions. And uh, so do you feel how do you feel about how it earning respect as a female driver in the late model division? And I don't know, has it changed as you've been racing over the last years? And what does it mean to you to represent, women in racing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of have, I don't want to say a different thought process on it than some, because I think there's the aspect of I do love being a woman in motorsports to inspire the young girls in the stands watching and the other young racers and just try to be an inspiration to women in motorsports or women in a male dominated field. I love that. But when it comes to gaining respect on the racetrack, I personally don't really try because frankly, I don't see why I should look at myself differently than the guys because I look at it as when I put my helmet on, I'm just the same. The car
Yeah.
doesn't know any better, and neither should the guys think of me differently. If they do, then that's their own problem, not mine. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had some guys race me without respect, and I'm
Sure
going to
have.
race people how they race me. And so,
Mhm.
if they race me like that, then I'm going to give it back just as much as they did. So, I've been also fortunate to have plenty of guys that race me with respect. So, it's definitely something that you have to earn, I think, no matter what, whether you're a rookie in a division and you're a guy or you're a girl. I think that you have to gain the trust of the people around you. And
Exactly.
that just is respect all in one. So, but again, I love doing it for the young ladies looking into the sport or just any woman in a male dominated field. I love that. But otherwise, I don't try to be the girl at the racetrack. I'm there doing my thing just the same as everybody else.
And even when my nephew moved up to the bigger divisions, I used to tell him, listen, he was 13 going in late
Mhm.
models. And I'm like, listen, once you get in that car, everybody is the same weight, same
Yep.
size.
Yep.
Okay. It doesn't matter. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They give it to
Yeah.
you, you give it back, whether
Right.
boy or girl. So
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool. We got Mark St. George said, with how good she is, they can't but help to respect her. So
No.
that's cool. So he must have
Yeah.
seen you race a couple of times. He's a local Seacon guy, and
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
we have two young drivers sitting backstage. They wanted to come in, ask you a couple of questions. We'll have them
Awesome.
come in a little bit, then finish up my questions in the show if you don't mind.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Works for
So
me.
it's Ayla and Mackenzie, and I said Mackenzie. She's a horseback rider
Okay.
and racer, and Ayla is a gymnast and race
Mhm.
car driver.
That's super
So
nice.
without any further ado, I'm gonna bring them in. There they are. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
You're gonna say hi to Taylor.
Hi,
Hi,
Taylor.
girls. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
so 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 do you girls have any questions that you'd like to ask Taylor about racing? And I don't know. I know you said, did you say you have a sister, Taylor,
Yes.
that
Yep.
does horseback riding?
Yeah.
And Taylor herself was a gymnast. So you both have something in common with, the family and the racing. So go ahead,
Yeah.
shoot. If you guys have any questions, whoever wants to go first.
So I have a couple questions for you, Taylor.
Okay.
So when did you specifically start racing late models at Thunder Road? Or like anytime?
2024 was my rookie season in a late model at Thunder Road. In 2023, I did 5 races in a late model, 3 at White Mountain and 2 at Oxford.
And then if you had a dream track to race at, what would that be?
Oof, good question. I feel like in the Northeast, I have to answer this twice because I want to look at the South and then Northeast. I'll start with the South. I feel like, and people are going to probably make fun of me for this one, either like North Wilkesboro or Hickory, just because of the history at both of those tracks.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so much history there that it's just kind of like you have to check it off the list at one point in your life. So that would be really cool. In the North, I really just want to race Loudon at one point, just to say I've done it. It's a big track, the NASCAR guys go there, and my dad's done really well there in the past, so I would love to go race there one day.
Oh, maybe you should this year.
I don't know.
It's coming up. It's coming up
It
5
is.
weeks or so.
I was gonna say it's coming quick.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Ayla? She's a gymnast. I don't know if you guys are listening to all the stuff that she accomplished in her years of gymnast. Did you hear me when I was reading it off, Ayla?
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions to her about, gymnastics or racing or anything like that?
Yeah. How long did you do gymnastics?
I did gymnastics until I was 18, and I believe I started when I was 4 or 5-ish. So probably like 13 or 14 years. So it was a large part of my life until I graduated high school.
I have a few more. What is the most challenging car that you've ever driven?
I think just the late model. It's tricky. I'm sure as you girls know, in anything that you drive, in any tracks you go to, the setups are hard to learn at some different tracks, and they're very different tracks. Whether it's a heavy braking track or not. I think that a late model is a beast overall, and when you go somewhere like Thunder Road, it changes a lot on you. So then you have to change your driving style, and it was a lot to learn at first, but it also is a lot of fun to learn, and I probably would race late models for the rest of my career if that's what I wanted to do.
Well, that's great. When did you start, Ayla, in gymnastics?
I think I started when I was like 2 or 3, and
Wow.
still
What do
go.
you do at 2? You just tumble or something at 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roll
that's
around.
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. Ayla, why don't you uh if you don't mind, tell Taylor about your experience down in Southern National. Your first, your second. Last year, you kind of just dabbled in it, but this year was your first actual. You went down to Southern National and raced there's a Charger division down there,
Oh,
Taylor.
awesome.
It's kind of like the late models that we race, just a little different.
Okay.
But she
Cool.
went down there and with Derek's help and
Awesome.
went and did some racing. You want to just tell us a little about that and how you felt? How was it? Fun, and were you nervous at all? Or
It was definitely really fun. I didn't really get that nervous until like right before like going on the track, but like it was
yeah,
hot.
it was hot. Yeah, we were just
Yes.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the being in shape and doing the gymnastics helps you out for that.
There was a lot of competition, and there was actually 4 other girls too racing in the
Oh,
Chargers.
that's cool. I feel like you don't see that very often. That's
Yeah, that
awesome.
was good. So, all right. So this is for you, for um, you and Taylor again. One more time is, how do you feel that if gymnastics has helped or hurt you? And Taylor can go first. In transitioning from that sport into the racing. Was it all help, or was it or did it basically?
I think for the most part, for me, it helped a lot. I think I said mentioned this in the beginning. The only hurt problem would be just because you're trying to be perfect, 10-0 perfect in gymnastics, and that's extremely hard to attain in racing. And so to grow up with that mentality of just trying to be 10-0 perfect is hard to kind of get out of your brain, to be like, it's okay to not be perfect. And even when you're not perfect, you're still learning so much and you're growing. But the positives of it is, I think personally gave me a great work ethic. I'm working hard in the gym just because I think gymnastics gave me a great foundation to work from. Because I know that I want to be as prepared as possible in the race car, but also mentally, gymnastics is very mentally tough and challenging. So, and so is racing. So to be able to have already had so much experience of mental toughness and how to work through that, I think has definitely been a benefit and definitely will not be a negative in my eyes.
How about you, Ayla? How do you think? How do you feel?
I think gymnastics definitely benefits, so like driving like the late model, because like the strength and like your arms and like your legs having to like brake like quickly and like responding to like the car like wrecks. And
No, you're doing good. You're
yeah,
doing good. Yeah. Awesome.
No, absolutely.
So Mackenzie, you do a lot of horseback riding and shows, and do you feel, with that kind of workout and, trying to be perfect with jumps and stuff like that, how do you feel that helps you with your racing?
I found the riding helps me a lot between like balancing before the jump or like getting them going with your leg, making them go faster. I find that definitely helped with like correction if the car got loose and like the braking quickly if there's a wreck, especially at Seekonk. And like I think it helped me overall
Yeah, yeah,
learning like and having to be precise. I think that definitely helped me like with wreck avoidance and a lot of that.
yeah. Especially at Seekonk, things happen pretty quickly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, I heard you going to be testing in a Legend. You guys got a Legend for this year coming
Yeah.
up, so you're going to be doing a little testing with that.
Yeah, we're not gonna test it till early August.
Okay, okay, that's exciting. It's
Nice.
always exciting
That's
when you
very
move up,
exciting.
right, Taylor? When you go from
Absolutely.
we went from the street stocks to the late models, it's like, all
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
it's great. It's great. So, um, you guys have any other questions you want to ask Taylor? We got her on there. You sure?
I
More, come
have
on. This is your
I have one
opportunity.
more
Go
I have one
ahead.
more
Go
question.
ahead.
Taylor, have you ugh,
That's all right.
if you won a race, like what was your favorite win or like your favorite podium?
A good question. I think I won in the street stock, and that was just very exciting and a surreal moment that you want to like relive over and over. But I think my first podium, which was just a third place in the late model, um, that was definitely rewarding because being in a late model was such a big jump for me, and to podium in my first season in a late model was very rewarding and kind of felt like I could take a breath for like half a second just because your hard work pays off. And as you girls know, it's a mentally really challenging sport. So to finally see some results is nice, and to know that you can do it and do better. So probably my podium in the late model, but definitely always remembering my win in the street stock.
How about you guys? You have any moments that you guys want to share with Taylor about your racing experience and one of your favorite moments? You can go first, Mackenzie, if you want.
Probably when I got I think it was it second on Saturday night at Southern?
Yeah.
When I got my first ever second at
Nice.
Southern National.
Awesome.
It's
That's
pretty
great.
good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. How
Yeah.
about you, Ayla?
Especially
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you
um,
weren't finished. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mackenzie. You can finish.
I'm finished.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Um, mine best finish is probably at Seekonk in like my first year or second year at Bando,
Hmm.
getting third. And like maybe like going out for the first time in the late model and like not getting last.
Right, right. Finishing a race
Yep.
sometimes is right, Taylor.
Absolutely. Small wins are big wins for sure.
Yeah, and that's something it's hard to accept, especially coming from all three of you, your backgrounds, being so good at what you do, in gymnastics and horseback riding, and then coming into a sport where, you know, it's a tough sport, there's so many variables that can change, you know what I mean? You can start out with a great car and the handling changes on you, or, you get caught up in a wreck or, multiple things. You get a flat tire,
Yep.
you know? So, I believe that's, it's tough to accept that, but, as you race, the more you race, I feel that, you like Taylor said, you take the small wins and you just build on that.
Yep.
All right. Well, what do you say? Let's just not having your dad, Ayla, your dad said not having to clip her late model stock after the weekend is a win for me. Derek Guchaki's in. He says, "Hi, girls." Maddie, I guess Maddie's watching too. You guys want to say hi to Derek?
Hi.
Hi.
um, Mary Carr said, Ayla, you did a great job and had some great questions on the show here tonight. Thank you. Mark asked, do you girls work on the cars so as to learn about the car and the setups? I know Taylor, we were talking about that earlier. She does. And Taylor, why don't you, I don't know if you two girls are working on the cars, but Taylor can tell you that I saw a video that you do a lot of putting on your lettering on the cars
Yeah.
and what else do you do? I mean, are you under
Yeah,
there
kind
nut
of.
and bolting?
Oh yeah, I mean, kind of anything that's on the list, whether it's fixing body panels or just something simple like nut and bolt and fixing the vinyl from the week, depending on how that week went. But it definitely this past season being in the Kulwicki Driver Development Program, it pushed me to learn a lot more about my setup and what's happening on the car when we're driving. And that was it was cool to learn just because it helps you as a driver understand more of what you're feeling in certain moments and how maybe you can help your team adjust that properly. So I enjoy working on my car. I have a great team behind me that helps a lot. So it's fun for me at this point. So I like it. And it just feels rewarding to know that I do work on my car.
So you two girls want to chime in? You got, how about you? Mackenzie, are you in the shop with your dad helping him out during the week, getting the car ready? And be
During the
honest,
summer,
we're on the Rough and Rowdy podcast. You can be honest here.
during the summer, I usually help him scrape tires. I normally do that, and I'll help
Yeah.
him put back on the tires.
Oh, so you are starting out, and that's good.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah,
out, and even if you can start learning, what a socket is, or what size wrenches and stuff like that. That's a big
yeah.
help for him when he's working on the car, and you can help him out. How about you, Alias, smirking over there? I see you, big smile on your face. I know you're like the mom over there, making sure everybody at the track has got everything ready for the car and who's doing this and making sure of that. But are you in the shop at all, helping a little bit on the car?
Yeah, I do help in the car sometimes, like putting tires back on. But I mainly in the summer, like after racing, I'll like clean the trailer out and get it ready for like next weekend or next race.
Oh, good, good. And when they're ready to get in the car loaded up and stuff, you're over there making sure they're doing everything right. I've heard that. Jacobs told me. He said you're like the mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything has to be perfect. The radios have to be charged, the transponder, we have to have batteries, I have to have my gloves. Everything has to be like ready and put away.
Yeah. It's actually a big help.
Hey, I hear it. I love trailer organization. It just is. It's discombobulating when you go to the track and you need something quickly. You can't find it. You need some good trailer organization.
Yeah.
Shoot. Um, Becca Martin, this is Ayla's, I think, aunt, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, asked Ayla and Kenzie want to know who your role model is. And I think I know the answer, but who in I guess that must be in racing. Who's like your role model?
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Taylor. Yeah.
I have to and will always say Tracy Belrose. I'm not sure if you girls know her, but she was the only female late model track champion at Thunder Road in 2000. And she's been a crucial role in my career in the late model division. It's been super helpful and just, I mean, as you girls know, you don't see many ladies in racing, and so to see that in 2000 and have a champion in such a competitive division and track is pretty cool to look back at. But it's also really fun to look up to the people like, Haley Deegan and Jade Abadizian is younger than me, but those girls out there right now are killing it. And it's fun to watch them and see what they're doing. And just get to root for them, really. So it's fun to see that.
All right. So same question with you two girls. Whoever wants to go first, who would be your role model?
I don't really know who my role model is. I don't really. I look up to a lot of people, like a bunch. Like especially like Jacob when he's helping me, I look up to him.
Yeah. Good, good, good. I'm sure you appreciate that. How about you, Ayla?
I don't have many like role models either, but it's for like Jacob or like Derek.
Yeah. 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 Jacob tries to help out. He's really good at that. But yeah, so Mark St. George said, I love the heart they have for racing. Been seeing more and more females racing, and I think it's great. It's a great thing. Um, yeah, I do too. I think it's awesome. Um, so anyway, I'm gonna finish up with Taylor because we're almost at our hour. I want to thank you two girls for joining us tonight. That was awesome that you guys came on. You have anything else you want to say to Taylor before I sign you girls off?
No, but thank you, Ronnie. Thank
You have
you.
any words of wisdom, Taylor, to these two young ladies?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice getting to know you girls, and good luck with your seasons. I'll look forward to following along, and just keep pushing. Never get down on yourself, and don't let those boys beat you up. So have
Yeah,
fun with it.
maybe when you come down to Seekonk for the, I don't know if you come for the Spring Green or the Haunted
Yeah.
100, one of those, you can
Yep.
maybe they can come over to
Right.
your trailer and visit you.
Absolutely. If I'm there, come on over.
Awesome. All right, girls. Thanks again for coming on. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you and talking to you soon.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, they are. They're great, getting into the racing. And I know we're
Yep.
kind of going a little over. I usually try to do an hour, but if you have to go, you let me know. I don't want to keep you too
Okay.
long. So looking ahead, what are your goals for next season?
Consistency in the sense of solid top fives, top tens. I want to get a win or more, but especially that first late model win, I want to get that really bad. And um, I just want the consistency of it. I don't want to, go have two top fives and a DNF. I want to, be consistent with those top fives and strong runs and continuously building our notebooks with the car. And yeah, I mean, I think just having a strong year, obviously, as we all hope for, but stuff happens sometimes. It's beyond our control. But I think that definitely some more podiums and consistent, strong finishes is what I look forward to and hope for.
Awesome. So long term, where do you see yourself in racing, in the future? Is it going to just be, late models, or do you feel like you might go further into the racing?
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
maybe actor full time or some
yeah,
other
I think it's
division?
hard to say, just as you know, I mean, this sport is so financially demanding, especially, I mean,
Three
let
cars.
alone, right, yeah, let alone in the Northeast. But if you want to go try your hand down south, I mean, you're spending $30,000-$40,000 a race, and that's,
Yes.
a
And
rental
that's your
thing.
whole season here up
Right,
north.
absolutely. And so it's hard to kind of, obviously I would love to go race down south and go get an opportunity down there and see where that could lead me. That would be the dream. But looking realistically, yeah, I would love to race full-time ACT. My dad did that for so long and was so successful at it. I would definitely love to do that, but also maybe secure the second female Thunder Road Late Model Championship would be pretty cool and
That would be
bittersweet. So
historic. Yes, that would be
yeah.
really cool. No, that,
Yeah,
well, I'm sure you're going to be getting that soon,
I hope
keep up
so.
because you have the mindset for it. Definitely. And you know, that's what it takes, and you go there, go to the track with the mindset that, you're going to do good. My wife always says you got to, you know, what does she use the word? Starts with an M. I don't know. But she like, if you got to keep the positive thoughts. You do the positive
Right.
thoughts, positive things will happen, you know?
Yeah,
So you got to keep
absolutely.
that. So let's do a couple of quick things. So favorite pre-race food, just quick. These are quick, you know, but then
Fruit.
fruit.
Yeah, I like fruit. It's light. It's hydrating in a way.
Yeah. And can you, manifest it. Thanks, Derek. Derek Uchaki chimed in. You
Yeah.
manifest it. That's the
Yep. I
word. I
definitely
knew it
could have said
started with an M, but that's what happens as you start getting older. These things,
that.
don't come up. So fruit, is any particular fruit or just any fruit?
Like I just get the like pre-made
Oh,
fruit
with all the
salad.
fruit salad and can you
Yeah.
eat like before you get in the car? Or is it something like I
It's
know me, like my stomach's like turning. I can't.
yeah. It's maybe like during practice I will, but then right before the race I can't eat.
Yeah, because I know
Too-
my nephew, he can get in the car and like he'll be sitting there getting ready to go out for the race and eating a piece of pizza or something.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
No, I'm not gonna
No.
do that. Any kind of particular music you listen to before the race, or no music, or
It's
to
I
get you
like to
hyped up,
jam
pumped up?
out. Yeah. It's kind of like a mixture of like old rock, hip hop, some country. Like it's my race day playlist is a complete mashup of everything. But it's hype.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was the same way. I always like to like get that music, whatever music
Yeah.
to get you hyped up. And even now, when I go to the track, even though I'm not racing, I still get
Yeah.
that. You don't want to get that
Yeah.
hyped up music going.
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans, your supporters, your sponsors?
Yeah, I'm just thankful for everyone. I have an amazing support system behind me, fans included, sponsors included. East West Credit Union has done a lot for me, and they're my primary sponsor coming into the third year, re signed with them. And I just couldn't be more thankful for them and what they've given me and the opportunities they've brought me. So, them, my SRT Motorsports team, and all of my other sponsors and supporters, I genuinely would not be here without them all. So, I can never thank them enough.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. You know, we need that kind of support. Definitely the sponsors, the crews, the guys that, they do all, they're working hard and it seems like, you're the one that gets all the glory,
Yeah, and they deserve it all too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Mark said, he just said a couple of things. He said, stay humble, keep driving the way you are, and you'll be all set. Believe it. He goes, I love her attitude, like her even more now after listening to her. So
Oh, well,
that's
thank you.
awesome. So where can people follow you and keep up with you this season?
Yeah, on Instagram and Facebook, Taylor Hoar Racing is where all the updates are. Facebook's a little more active, but I try to stay on it with Instagram too. So Taylor Hoar Racing, that's where you'll find it all.
All right. All right. So I'm going to end the show here, and I just want to I really want to thank you and appreciate you coming on. And,
Yes, thank you.
I was so excited when you said you were going to come on. I said, oh, this is great. You reach out, I just started this podcast only several months ago.
Mhm.
And I had that little thing. I call it the worst podcast on the internet. I'm in my house with a microphone and a laptop,
Yeah.
cheap camera, but I have fun doing this. And, it's really good. You're getting a lot of fans now. Joe said, made me a fan too. Humble, genuine, great attitude. So you're
Well,
gaining
thank you.
fans right here. Make sure you guys go to Taylor's page, and like it and follow her. And everybody else who's watching that hasn't subscribed to the Rough and Rowdy podcast, like and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. So I don't know. I think you're making an impact for women drivers, and again, I really appreciate you coming on. And
Yeah.
they're
No,
all hoping,
I'm super
to see you at
thankful.
Seekonk. They're all hoping they're
Yes.
coming on. I hope to see you at Seekonk. And I hope to see you up in New Hampshire. I think that's something you should do. I think
Yeah.
it's a fun track. It's a fun whole weekend there.
Yeah.
But if not, I'm sure we'll see you maybe at Lee or wherever track.
Yeah, I'd love to try my hand again at Seekonk. We had a good car, just fell off for the feature. So I definitely want to be there again, at least for one of the races. So hope
Awesome.
to see everybody there. And I am super thankful you invited me on and had a good time.
Awesome, Taylor. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you
Thank
at the
you.
track.
Yep, you as well.
All right. We'll see you later.
Yep, take care.
All right, everybody. That was a great show. I tell you, she's incredible. I tell you. And, like everybody say, humble and very nice. I'm looking forward to watching her race at, Seekonk or wherever else we are. And, again, thank you everybody for coming on the show and, watching our show, The Worst Podcast. And, I think tonight, we moved up a level. Maybe we're not the worst anymore. I don't know. But all right, you guys, thank you guys for coming on. And we'll hopefully see you next week. I'm working on there's Huckleberry. He wanted to say hi. Hi, Huckleberry. He probably wants some cookies or he wants to go outside. But all right, you guys, thanks again. We'll see you hopefully next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you soon.